Carolina 9, Falcons 7. Panthers move to 2-12. Falcons fall to 6-8. I really have just 2 plays to discuss.
Perfect. Well,
in
then
this game.
I have a few this week. There were a few metaphors that jumped to top of mind, right? There was the Kadarius Toney as Wile E. Coyote in a football uniform. This game, so not only is it the Falcons versus the Panthers, it's already kind of miserable just from a best case scenario kind of outlook. You get there, you turn it on, and it's like lashing rain, gray, overcast. Seasonal affective disorder, where people just get sad because it's winter and it's gray and miserable out. This game was seasonal affective disorder in NFL football form, right? You just turn it on and you're just like bummed out immediately. You don't even have to see anything happen. You turn on this game, it's slightly overcast looking anyway. It's gray, it's raining. You're like, ugh, this game is just miserable. And it stayed miserable for the entire game. And
then they played the game.
Yeah, it was just depressing from start to finish. And you're like, even though Carolina ends up sneaking it out and getting a win, you're like, I felt nothing. I just felt drained and depressed watching this game from start to finish. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder. That was this game.
That's all we got. Sad. I mean, the 2 plays that decided the game.
Perfect.
Were the Falcons' mistakes.
Okay.
They're up 7-3. And they fumble at their own
7-3 lead.
They're up 7-3. And they fumble at their own 20.
Yeah, that's
late in the third quarter. Right. So that hands the Panthers a field goal. So now it's 7-6. And then Falcons drive back into the red zone. And once again, Desmond Ridder with a terrible red zone interception, rolling to his left, throws it back. I don't know who he was throwing to besides the Panthers. So they're up 7-6. I mean, at the very least, try to kick a field goal, make it 10-6, make the Panthers, score a touchdown, something they haven't done in this game. Something they didn't do in this game. Instead, Ridder throws a red zone interception, which he's had a knack for this season. The disastrous.
It's not a great knack to have.
No, the disastrous turnover at the wrong time of the game. So that took points off the board, obviously, for Atlanta. And then for all the conditions and everything, Bryce Young, he threw some of those old school late career Peyton Manning, kind of wobblers that got there, in the conditions. But Bryce Young threw a couple. He did a beautiful throw along the sideline to DJ Chark, who caught it and did a really nice job staying in bounds. Bryce Young actually threw the ball pretty well on the comeback drive to get into field goal range, and then they ran the clock out, kicked the game-winning field goal to cap the 9-7 win here.
Yeah, it's a sad indictment of his rookie season that this was genuinely one of the best games of Bryce Young's career so far. He played fine. I will say, so like his average time to throw was 3.3 seconds, and it did feel like for much of this game, the Panthers' best game plan was to just hope that he bought enough time for there to be a defensive penalty in the secondary. Like, if he just runs around behind the line of scrimmage, eventually somebody will hold or have illegal contact, and that's the way we move the football here. Because God knows we're not capable of actually doing it ourselves with the offensive personnel that we have. This is just, again, sad. It was miserable watching it. It's like, okay, every now and again he'll make a play and just about keep things alive, but it was a 9-7 game and it felt like it. That's basically the upshot here.
Massive implications for the Falcons. Coming into the game, they were 6-7, tied atop the NFC South with the Bucs and the Saints. And it's the Falcons lost to the Bucs last week in another heartbreaker, right? The last 5 quarters of football for the Falcons have dropped their playoff probability something like 65-70% down to like 30. It's been a disastrous 5 quarters for the Falcons, including yesterday's entire game. So they fall to 6-8. They're a game behind the Bucs and the Saints, and I don't know if the tiebreakers are going to be there to help them in the end. Falcons looked like, I thought for most of the season the Falcons looked like the best team in the NFC South, but the quarterback situation, man, just killing them. Panthers did a really nice job against the Falcons' run game. Tyler Algier and Bijan didn't get much going, but So credit the Panthers and their defense for that, but man, it's a tough one for the Falcons if they were going to sneak into the playoffs and try to steal the division.